some of the traders use fundamental analysis, technical analysis. Technical analysis is basically using of charts to find your trade and invest your money accordingly. So, but those charts and those various indicators are possible because of standard deviation. So, some professional stock traders use quantitative analysis to analyze the market and predict the future value of securities. They can use standard deviation and probability theory to make investment decisions. Okay, move to the next slide. Hello, Pragya? Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, we should know what is standard deviation. Standard deviation is basically a measure or a point that describes the probability of an event under a normal distribution. Like if we have a data set, so standard deviation is the probability of an event happening in that normal distribution. It is basically a point in that a point or a measure of the probability of that event happening in a normal data set. So sometimes what happens is stock market में काफी ups and downs होते हैं ना, तो नॉर्मल गॉसियन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो होता है वो दैट इज अ बेल शेप्ड कर्व, तो उसी के अकॉर्डिंगली वो रिएक्ट करता है. So if we imply one standard deviation in a chart, it is 68% accurate and 32% it is not reliable. कि 68% वो सही भी हो सकता है and 32% it may fall into a pitfall zone, ऐसा कुछ भी हो सकता है. But if we imply two standard deviation, and mind you this is the most reliable usage of probability in stock market, that if we use two standard deviation, it makes up to 95% of all returns. That is, it is 95% accurate, and 5% the stock prices may differ, or there is a chance of mishappening.
Yeah, please. What is the
hello? Yeah. But if you use three standard deviations,
explain this with the image, because what you are saying makes sense to men or makes me. I don't know if it makes sense to other people.
अरे सर, I'll make sense to other people also. Next slide में आते ही ना, it will start making sense. This is theory, practical I'll show. So if you use three standard deviations, it will cover more than 99% of all returns, but it is not very reliable because काफी ये वेग हो जाता है. If we use three standard deviations, तो वो वेग होता है. It's not practical. Okay, move to the next slide. And all these standard deviations, इसके बाद वाली slide. या Bollinger Bands इसके बाद में, इसके पहले. So all these standard deviations are used to make Bollinger Bands. That
we are talking of probability, not a standard deviation. Standard deviation is a measure to tell us volatility. So if you can go to probability, because then you are going for technical analysis, and which standard deviation is definitely going to be used. Please understand that.
Standard deviation is definitely going to be used, but it is a part of probability, na? And because of that probability, these technical indicators are derived. These technical indicators are based on probability.
So yeah,
we have two options. No, we can use standard deviation and calculate for ourselves. See what is the return that we are going to expect, and what is the chance of mishappening in our stock, or the investment that we are going to make. But if we have these technical indicators which uses probability and standard deviation, so it is definitely gonna help. We have two options: either to calculate it by ourselves, or we can use Bollinger Bands and other indicators that are already present in the tools and indicators.
So yeah, I do understand the indicators, and they use standard deviation. So it will be helpful if you can show 2-3 indicators and how they are linked to probability rather than just standard deviation. I'm not saying you are wrong. I'm just saying the context has to be probability and its usage. That's it.
Yes, yes, sir. The context is probability. The probability is a broader term, and stock market comes in that broad term. Like Bollinger Bands, these Bollinger Bands are derived because of probability. We have to calculate various uh, we have to use various formulas of probability and calculate uh, the returns that we are going to expect, and that is done in a more simple way through Bollinger Bands. Like if we have to calculate, so first we calculate a simple moving average. Then after calculating that simple moving average, we calculate the standard deviation over the some period of time on that simple moving average. And for the upper band, we add that standard deviation that we are getting, and for the lower band, we subtract the standard deviation that we are getting from the moving average. So all the typical values that are used here are getting derived because of probability. So probability remains in the context. And to describe you with what are Bollinger Bands, Bollinger Band is a technique that uses standard deviation in order to uh, tell you about all the returns that we are getting. For example, this slide shows you a picture of a Bollinger Band. तो जो यहाँ पे अपर बैंड है दैट इज फर्स्ट ये जो बीच में एक लाइन जा रही है दैट इज सिंपल मूविंग एवरेज की लाइन है 20 डेज मूविंग एवरेज इज कैलकुलेटेड बाय taking closing prices of, like I have used 20 moving average. So if I have used 20 moving average, that means that I have calculated closing price of previous 20 days of the stock and have derived the moving average. So now what we do is we calculate standard deviation. We calculate the standard deviation and we add the standard deviation into the moving average to get the upper band, and we subtract the standard deviation to get the lower band. तो ये जो upper band है that would act as a resistance, and this lower band would act as a support. So whenever the stock prices fall, lower band तक आने पे ना जैसे
again we are not going into language of resistance support because you understand it. Then we have to make them explain what is support, what is resistance. Let's try to be in the context. So you have explained to us, this is very simple. There's a middle line which is the average line, and then the upper and the lower band represent the deviations for that particular time. That's fine. Then next, please.
What? See, this slide uses one standard deviation. It is a slide of August 19th of TCS. So this slide uses one standard deviation and is 65% accurate and 35% chances of mishappening. So इसमें जो भी prices है,
how do you show that? That's the point you have to understand. Okay, so Bollinger Band, let's say I bought on July 2020. When is it at the upper band? Okay, so you have to tell that. If you have to tell the usage of Bollinger Band.
Yeah. Sir, your connection was choppy. थोड़ा आपकी आवाज आई नहीं लास्ट में. Hello.
Yeah.
So could you repeat what you just said?
What I was telling you, you have told us that Bollinger Band is a representation of a mean line and the standard deviation upper band, lower band. That's fine.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how do you use it? Okay.
So that I'm saying, yeah.
And how do you predict it?
We use it. See, we take the example. This example. it uses standard deviation 1. ठीक है, तो it is 65% accurate. And we already know that the lower band acts as a support and the upper band acts as a resistance. So it is implied that if the price falls to the support level, it's 65% chances are there that it will bounce back up. Okay, it will show an uptrend. Yeah, move to the next slide, please.
So you want to say buy when the price is at lower band and sell when the price is at upper band. That's it.
No, sir. There are lots of things like we can buy on the lower band, and once it touches the upper band, it is on us. We should use some more indicators, not only the Bollinger Band. We should use our own calculations and some techniques of probability to decide whether we have to sell it on the upper band or we have to move or we have to hold the shares. Like I'll tell you this example. जुलाई यहाँ पे जो जुलाई starting of July में it has touched upper band, but still it's not resisting and it's again showing an uptrend. So that you have to calculate whether you have to stay in these stocks or you have to keep investing in it, or you have to remove your stock and you after collecting the target that you have achieved.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So we can use Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands is the best example of probability used in stock market because it was made by John Bollinger, who
now my big question to you is why is the upper band resistance and lower band support? Why do you say that?
Acha. Upper band is resistance and lower band is support. Because
why do you say that? I can, and how much deviations is this graph for? How many deviations is this graph catching for?
Yes, sir. We calculate the standard deviation. So standard deviation is a measure of the.
I understand how many standard deviations are you capturing in this particular figure.
So 3 standard deviations are used in this particular.
This is 3 standard deviation Bollinger Band.
Yeah, this is a 3 standard deviation Bollinger Band, but it is not very reliable. The most reliable Bollinger Bands are 2 standard deviation Bollinger Bands.
Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So
okay, that's
this
fine.
was it with the standard deviations involved in.
We have got the gist. Let's go ahead. We are not here for complete explanation. This is for demonstration. Go ahead. There are multiple explanations. This is one of them. Go ahead. Anything else is there?
Yeah, then we have. We can move to the next slide. So this was important for investing in equity or stocks. But if we have to trade in options, so traders can use probability and standard deviation by. There is this technique called Black-Scholes model. There is this technique known as Black-Scholes equation. However, we can assume the underlying, because assets always derive their value from their underlying asset. Options derive their value from their underlying asset. So this Black-Scholes equation, it helps you in estimating that or calculating that calculating the value of that underlying asset. So if
traders you have to understand that this is not an advanced class of mathematics. So people might not know what is option. So I'm not saying you are wrong. I'm just trying to say when you're presenting it to them, it's just like you have to explain. So it will be helpful directly towards the Black-Scholes equation, and then we go ahead, because writing all these things for people who hardly understand mean, median, or integration will be very tough.
No, sir, I'm not going into I'm not going into complex math. Because I too am from commerce background, I'm not going into complex math.
Like implied volatility and those sort of things. Okay.
Implied volatility, that is a different thing. Implied volatility is a different thing. I'm not going into it. I'm just explaining the.
Even writing them, it's a issue. So I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just that according to the class you have to present. That's all. Nothing else. It's not.
Yeah, according to the. I'll make everyone understand what is Black-Scholes model. I will not go into complex mathematics. I am not going into that because to be honest, I also don't know how to derive these equations. But I can use it and I can make people understand how to use it. Yeah, move to the next slide, please. ऑप्शंस कैलकुलेट करने का सबसे आसान तरीका यही ब्लैक शोल्स मॉडल को यूज करना एंड ब्लैक शोल्स मॉडल वाज developed in 1973 by Fisher Black, Robert Milton, and Myron Scholes. Initially, it was developed by Fisher Black and Myron Scholes. Then Robert Milton joined in.
Please don't explain Black Scholes like history mat batao, because again then it will be what was BSM and then what was the initial option. Just go ahead. Okay. In fact, you just slide and I will tell you explain. Okay, that will be better rather than, because I am forwarding a link to the class which will explain what is Black Scholes. Yeah, go ahead. Next slide, please.
Okay, next slide. Yeah, see, this is the Black Scholes formula. It looks very intimidating. Yeah. It looks very intimidating, but it's very simple. ऐसा कुछ इसमें टफ नहीं है. सबसे ऊपर ये ही फिशर ब्लैक, नीचे वाले हैं ये शोल्स एंड द लास्ट वन इज मेटन. अच्छा, coming to this formula, here's expression C0 is equal to as 0 and standard deviation 1 minus exponential to the power RT. It looks very intimidating, but if we get to know that here C0 is the current option, price of the current option that we are taking in context, and D1, here D1 is the
yeah, what's D1?
D1.
Because the point is you cannot explain Black Scholes unless you explain to them what is a log normal function. Okay. Therefore, yeah. I will request you either explain what is log normal function or don't go in Black Scholes at all. Okay.
So I don't know about log normal function.
So that's the point, Shashank. Please understand. जो मेरे देखो, I have studied this, so I won't teach Black Scholes unless I teach log normal. Okay. And log normal से पहले मुझे normal बताना पड़ेगा. Anyways.
Yeah. So sir, I'm not teaching Black Scholes or anything like that.
The point is
just Black Scholes is a technique used because of probability.
Line would have been sufficient that options, the probability has been used in option pricing. That's it. For more details, refer to BSM. That's it. Okay, next slide, please.
Yeah, so Black Scholes model is
okay, next slide, please. No, we are not going to CDF right now because I will be happy if you can talk on these lines, all of you. I like that you can talk, but all of you, not some of you. Go ahead, please.
Next slide, please. Pragya.
Next.
So Black Scholes model was
okay.
Slide.
Yeah. So whenever you write a conclusion, please try write in points rather than in paragraph. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone has explained log normal function or any other usage of probability in stock market? Because there are multiple. We can have sessions and sessions, and this is not that. This is just a demonstration. So what Shashank demonstrated was precisely use of Gaussian function and the variation of the percentage of data which comes in 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation, 3 standard deviation, and how Bollinger Band is one technique which uses that. Okay. As I told you,
and sir, I try to establish the fact that probability is the main content of stock market. Yeah. Stock market works because of probability.
Yeah, so that is there, and this is good work. And people who like stats, who like maths and stock market, can go in this field. They will see complete application of all the principles. Anyone else? Anyone has presented log normal function? Prepare for log normal function. Pratyaksh Srivastav and group.
So we have also discussed about standard deviation only.
You have discussed about?
The standard deviation. Our presentation is also on standard deviation, the use of normal distribution.
Non-linear distribution. Okay, leave that. Anyone else? Vaishnavi Singh and group.
Yes, sir, we have prepared a Gaussian function and error function.
Can you
the
repeat
second
that?
assignment.
Can you repeat that, ma'am, please?
Sir, we prepared the second assignment.
Okay, Anushka, please stop sharing your screen. Sorry, Anushri. And Vaishnavi, you can begin.
Okay, sir, just a second. Sir, can you present?
Yeah, we can see it. Go ahead.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you
Yes, you
are.
are audible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Saurabh Pariyar, and today we are presenting on the topic which is relation between error function and Gaussian function. So let's get started. Gaussian function or Gaussian distribution, also called as normal distribution. It is a probability distribution that is symmetric about the mean, showing that the data near the mean are more frequent in occurrence than the data far from the mean. The Gaussian distribution is the most common type of distribution assumed in technical stock market analysis and in other type of statistical analysis. The formula, as you can see, is Gx is equals to 1 by sigma root 2 pi exp bracket 1 minus 1 by 2 bracket x minus pi whole bracket square divided by sigma square. Here Gx is the Gaussian function of x, and this sigma standard deviation is the variance, that is standard deviation, sigma is, and the mu is the mean. Let's look at in a graph. So this is a Gaussian function graph in which the parameters of the normal distribution is depend on the mu and the standard deviation. Here mu, the mean characterizes the position of the natural distribution. If we increase the mean, the curve will go right, and if we decrease the mean, the curve will go left. As we can see from blue and green curve, as we decrease the mean from 0 to minus 2, the curve is shifted to the left. It will be same as taller if the standard deviation won't be like changed. The standard deviation changed, so it will be flatter. So it says that if we changes the standard deviation of the curve, then the curve will be more flatter. If we increase the standard deviation, as we can see in blue to red and red to golden, the graph will be more flatter. As you can see in it is more flatter and flatter. And the mean is the middle value of the curve. It divided the curve into two equal parts. And now let's take an example of this by using R. And for that, I would like to invite Vaishnavi.
Here we have performed some examples of Gaussian functions which we on R. In the first example, we found out the probability of x being more than 40 when the mean is 45 and the standard deviation is 5. For this, we use the p-norm function. P-norm function is a function that gives the probability of a normally distributed random number to be less or more than the value of a given number. Here we have performed, you can see on the screen that the result is 0.84. And for the example 2, we calculated the first quartile with the help of Q-norm function. Q-norm function is useful in finding the percentile of a normal distribution. Next slide, please. So do I have to explain the functions also, the R functions, that the variables in the R function? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Then we use the de-novo function to calculate the density of the probability distribution. We also plotted the result on a graph. This function gives density, that is the height of the probability distribution at each point for a given mean and standard deviation, just like it was discussed before in the graph. Then lastly, we use the R norm function. Please switch the slide. We use the R norm function to generate a random sample from the population, and we plotted a histogram. R norm function is used to generate random numbers whose distribution is normal. It takes the sample size as input and generates that many random samples. Now I would like to invite Arpita to discuss the error function.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so here we'll go about the error function. Error function, basically also called as a Gauss error function. It is donated by ERF, and as here we can see a background. The error function and the complementary error function are important special function which appears in the solution of diffusion problems in heat, mass, and momentum transfer probability theory, which we are going to discuss here, and the theory of errors and various branches of mathematical physics. So, error functions formula we can next slide please. So here is a formula for error function. The ER of x is equal to 2 by root under root pi integral of 0 to x e minus t square dt. Here ER of x is Gauss error function, t is a variable, and x is a complex number. Okay. In here we can say this integral we can divide into from 0 to x, basically. Okay, sorry. Here, 1 second please. This integral is a special, we can say non-elementary function, which can be from 0 to infinity. We can, and when we apply for x, then we will divide this limit from 0 to x and x to infinity. F from 0 to x we call it error function, and from limit from x to infinity we call complementary error function to this. For explaining this error function, we will go through the example using Excel. So I would like to call Siddharth for that. Thank you.
Since most of the data collection thing is done on the Excel, so there is an inbuilt function in Excel known as error function. Its common syntax is equals to ERF, and then you have to put the lower limit for the integral value and then the upper limit for the integral value, and it will automatically produce.
You can show us the commands also. The value is fine, but what's the command like Vaishnavi sort p norm x and those sort of things?
Sorry, sir.
The complete function, the formula of the function, as in Excel.
For the error.
For this table.
For the error, the complete formula is you have to type is equals to ERF, then you have to provide the lower limit, and then after that you have to provide upper limit. In case you don't have upper limit, you can just go on with the lower limit and it will calculate the value from lower limit to the 0.
I understand the maths. I am asking you to add an extra column where you are writing the formula as written in Excel.
Okay, sir, we will add. Excel produced the different error value, and on plotting, can we could just move on the next slide? On plotting, we will get this diagram, which is more or less same to the ideal error function diagram. Since Excel has a calculation limitation, so it is showing the graph is at the 1, but actually the graph is asymptotic at 1. It never touches 1, and that's.
That's it for the presentation. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. Please, Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, I need you to just again send the function of pnorm which you have written in the slide in the chat, because we are going to discuss, elaborate on that. Okay, right? Do it right now, please.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Good. Wait. Okay, so now we are, I will try to share my screen. So first of all, just be patient, okay? Today's class is very heavily entire screen. Yeah, okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vaishnavi and the group, I have a question with you. What is the link between between the Gaussian function you showed and the error function you showed? What's the link? Because you showed it as it is, it's fine, but how they are linked?
Sir, under special condition Gaussian function, integral of Gaussian function is known as error function, and that is special condition we actually can't find it anywhere.
What is that special condition? You have to talk properly. Okay.
So we are not able to understand that mathematical portion of that special condition, but
Ah,
overall we.
okay, got it. Because if you see properly, it's there. matlab It's there in front of you. Okay. Can you see my whiteboard? Let's see this open board. Just be patient. Can you see this? Something written on this?
Yes, sir.
Great. Just be patient because I'm using it for the first time. So things might go a little bit wrong and you might suggest me how to correct them. Okay. So I have no problems. Yeah. So let's come to pencil again. Yeah. So we have written, what is normal function according to you? Please tell me. 1 upon. Yeah.
Sir, will I tell?
Just a second. Let me do it. One upon 2 pi root.
Sir,
Yes,
can you
sir.
change the color of the
Okay, okay, wait. Okay, can I change the color? I should be able to change the color. Let first of all wipe it off. This is new screen in the department. Like this. Can you read this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it wrong or right? Just tell me. Okay, Vaishnavi, because I just sometimes miscalculate on this part. On the 1 by root 2 pi. Is it correct or something else?
Sir, sigma will be not under the root.
Okay. That is what I was thinking. Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
This is we called as g of x or Gaussian. Now I have told you this. What is this?
Standardized variable.
Yeah, standardized
Variable.
variance. Standard variable. Standardized variance nahi, because everything is standard. This is standardized. Standardized variable. Okay, of standardized value of x. So now this becomes. Just a second. How to start this? Okay, anyways, I'm not able to wipe it off. Anyways. Is this fine? Is this fine? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can anybody tell me why did I not write sigma here? Why did not I not write sigma here? Anyone?
Sir, Z, we are already taking x minus.
So sigma is, yes, sigma is 1 in a standardized function. Now, if I say g of z is equal to exponential minus z square by 2 root 2 pi. Is this fine? Hello? Is this fine or not? Gz can be written as like this? Hello? Can you understand all this?
Yes, sir.
So what does this mean?
Area under G of Z.
What does that mean? Because, yeah, go ahead.
So Gz is the density function and the integral would be the distribution function.
Gz is the
Density function basically, so the integration would be the distribution function.
okay. If you remember, these words are right. We did discover that if pi summation pi is 1, we discussed that. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we also said integral px dx is also equal to 1. Did we say that or not? Yes or no? Yes? So now this ultimately is gz dz. What is this gz? Is it a probability or not? Because this is coming from here.
It's a
There.
probability distribution function.
Yeah, so what will be the value of this function?
1.
1. Now, Vaishnavi and a group, did you understand how error function and this are linked? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So how do we say error function plus what is equal to 1? Hello?
Complementary error function.
Then what that will be what, how much? That will be how much?
1 minus the error function value.
Vaishnavi and group? Okay, Vaishnavi, just show to the, just tell me, it's like, you wrote error function as 0 to infinity. That was the limit. Gz, dz, was that correct? Hello, the girl who presented, Arpita, I suppose.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Was this a definition of error function? Yes?
This is 0 to infinity.
Yes, sir.
And the definition of complement error function was?
X.
Sorry, this was x. This was x. Sorry, just a second. This is wrong here. This is quite troublesome. Board is better.
X.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How much will be this?
See, 1/2 half.
Yes. Why half? Can anyone tell us?
Because it is ultimately integral from 0 to infinity, and we are lefting the portion from minus infinity to 0. Since the
Yeah.
graph is symmetrical, so
Yeah.
it must be half.
This is a symmetrical function. This is a symmetrical function about this. So the area, this is what we are calculating, and this is this one. Okay? समझ आया?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have more
आपके
doubt.
अलावा आपके अलावा बाकी सबको समझ में आया नहीं आया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, because this is building on the,
Yes, sir.
we are not going to log normal function, we are just building on this. Yeah, somebody was asking anything. Yeah, go ahead.
So, what is the practical uses of this
अभी
function?
आता हूँ रुको ठीक है अभी आ रहा हूँ I am coming to that. How much is the time right now? Let's see first of all that we have time. Okay. Is this fine? सबको समझ में आया ये?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, let me. Does anybody use this whiteboard? I need to wipe everything right now. I need to erase everything. Is this possible? It must be possible. I am using for the first time. How do I erase? How do I erase everything? Anyways, no problem. Duster is. This is a duster. Okay. What is the practical use of this? This is very important. And we will talk about this कि ये error function का use इतना होता क्यों है? Okay. Just a second. Vaishnavi, what was the p-normal distribution you had, the problem? Just tell me.
Sorry,
That
sir?
we said that...
So we wanted the selected number to be more than 40, then the mean was 45, and the standard deviation was 5.
चलो ठीक है, this is not appropriate. So suppose the practical person who is asking, suppose I know that the average of the class is 50 marks. Okay? 50 is the average. Okay? And I also know the standard deviation is 5 marks. Okay? Hello? Are you listening? This is the standard deviation.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
I am trying to ask you how many people will be more than 45 marks? More than 45 marks. And you can assume that the marks are normally distributed. Now you tell me. Hello?
So in terms of R or in terms
No,
of
just
the
wait.
formula?
I'm asking the practical person. I'm sorry, I can't see your name, so I have to name you by the question you asked. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not asking Vaishnavi. I'm asking the person who asked me practically. Hello.
So, in the term of
My question is like, how will you begin? Do you understand? You know the mean, you know the standard deviation, you also know the marks are normally distributed. Assumption is that. How
But
many
sir,
people? हाँ बोलो.
for the standard deviation portion, the maximum data lie between those plus and minus standard deviation. So how can I say that this much percent of data is like
ये
greater
तो
than
वही तो मैं
40?
कह रहा हूँ. ये देखो, अब तुम देखो इसको, फिगर देखना. ठीक है, ये हो गया.
Yes,
ये
sir.
50 है.
Yes, sir.
So it will be around 34%.
अरे यार तुम आंसर मत दो, पहले उसको समझाओ तो उसको प्रैक्टिकल यूज समझ में नहीं आता. ठीक है. नाउ आई एम आस्किंग यू, हाउ मेनी पीपल आर मोर देन 45? So I'm asking this area from here till infinity. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm asking, इसको अगर हम नॉर्मल फंक्शन में करें, लेट्स फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कन्वर्ट इनटू स्टैंडर्डाइज नंबर. ये कितना होगा स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू में? z कितना होगा?
So -1.
-1. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
So I am asking you, sorry, wait. -1 infinity e minus z square dz. This is what I am asking you. समझ
Yes,
रहे हो?
sir.
अब वो उनको पता था कि मैंने -1 स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन लेना, 34% बोल दिया उन्होंने फटाक से, क्योंकि ये -1 स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन. इसी तरह wherever you have this normal distributional data, you understand how does the curve behave. अब ये वैल्यू जो है ये दी हुई होती है. I will come to that, how it is calculated. So first of all, did you understand normal function or not? ये इसका यूज थोड़ा बहुत
Yes, sir.
समझ में आया? Now we will come to one more interesting thing which is called a Z table. अभी आप लोग इस पे आइए स्क्रीन पे. Can you see my screen? Wait, I have to wipe it off. ये मुझे white board बंद करना पड़ेगा. I have to close the white board. So desktop. How can I? Anybody has used this software whiteboard? No. Take a minute. Let me erase all of this. Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ये अभी white board बंद ही करना पड़ेगा because this is becoming an image. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. हाँ. Yeah. So this is Z table. See. Can you see this? Now,
Yes.
this graph is actually telling you the answer that if you are integrating from 0 to infinity, 0 to x, the normal function in standardized form, then what will be the value? ठीक है?
Yes,
अब
sir.
देखो z इज इक्वल टू 0 के लिए क्या वैल्यू होगी ये पहले ये बताओ, तुम सोच के दिमाग लगा के. What will be the value for z equal to 0?
-0.5.
अरे यार उसको सोचने दो ना. हाँ बताओ बताओ.
So first वाली वैल्यू 0.5,
क्यों होगी?
क्योंकि टेबल मतलब रो और कॉलम वहीं पे मैच कर रहे हैं 0 0 का.
रोज मैच क्या कर रहे हैं, मैं तुमसे पूछ रहा हूँ. टेबल छोड़ो. z इक्वल टू 0 पर फंक्शन की वैल्यू क्या होगी? I will explain you what is the table. भाई
0.5, yes sir, half area.
हाफ एरिया. ठीक है. तो अब ये ग्राफ पढ़ते कैसे, वो ऐसे पढ़ते हैं. ध्यान से देखो, यहाँ पर दिस इज 0.0. अब 0.0 के आगे जो भी वैल्यू है, तो दिस इज 0.0, दिस इज 0.00, दिस इज 0.01, दिस इज वैल्यू फॉर 0.02, दिस इज फॉर वैल्यू फॉर 0.03. ठीक है.
Yes sir.
In this way, the value will increase.
Yes, sir.
And where it will go? कब तक कहाँ तक जाएगी? हेलो,
Infinity. Till infinity.
इन्फिनिटी तो भाई इन्फिनिटी कैसे जाएगी? इन्फिनिटी तक तो ये जाएगा.
Sir, Z.
हेलो, इट विल गो
सही. ऊपर वाला रो क्या है?
ऊपर वाला रो मैंने बताया ना कि ये जैसे अगर this is the value of integral at 0.000. This is the value of integral.
In the
ऊपर वाला
graph.
जो अरे यार ऊपर वाला जो रो है, ऊपर वाला जो हेडर है, that is second decimal place of the decimal. So first initial decimal places are got by the first column. The second decimal place is got by the second column, by the second header.
Okay.
आया समझ?
सर एक एग्जांपल लेके इलिस्ट्रेट कर देते.
यार एग्जांपल मैंने दिया है, पहले तुम एग्जांपल नहीं, तुम इसको समझ रहे हो नहीं समझ रहे हो, बिकॉज you seem to be more skeptical to me rather than anything. अभी रुको, उसको छोड़ो. Are you understanding this or not? टेबल अभी मैं उस पे आऊंगा एग्जांपल पे.
सर टेबल रीड करना नहीं समझ में आया.
हाँ तो मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, पहले इसको देखो. मैंने क्या बोला, दैट Z0 पे वैल्यू होगी 0.5. इज दैट करेक्ट?
यस सर.
Z 0.01 पे 0.5 से वैल्यू ज्यादा होगी,
यस सर.
ये कम होगी?
ज्यादा होगी.
ज्यादा होगी. सो इफ यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट 0.0 से ज्यादा कितना जाना है, so then you have to go for second level. So the first column is the Z value, 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Suppose you have to find the value at 0.05. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट कॉलम से तो काम नहीं बनेगा, बिकॉज 0.0 is 5 and 0.1 is 0.53. So how will you find 0.05? इन दोनों के बीच की वैल्यू कैसे निकालोगे? तो उसके लिए आप जाएंगे जो कॉलम है ऑन द हेडर, दिस. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So the value will be 0.5199
Okay.
for 0.05. And now tell me what will be the value for 0.15.
0.15. The value will be 0.5596.
Yes. What will the value? 0.43. 0.43.
0.43.
हाँ.
0.664.
अच्छा, अब प्रैक्टिकल पे आते हैं. ठीक है, हमने Z कितना निकाला था लास्ट क्वेश्चन में? क्वेश्चन याद है? 50%, 50. ओके, लेट्स पुट इट
-.
ठीक है. सो नाउ इसमें -1 जो है, क्या वो यूज हो पाएगा?
नहीं,
क्यों?
क्योंकि ग्राफ तो ये मतलब वैल्यूज तो सारी 0 टू पॉजिटिव दे रखी हैं.
0 टू पॉजिटिव दे रखी है. तो दिमाग लगाओ अपना जरा, और अब बताओ, अगर उस क्वेश्चन को अगर मैं तुमसे उसमें पूछता,
सर कॉम्प्लीमेंट निकाल के कर सकते हैं मे बी.
नहीं, जैसे भी करना हो करो, कॉम्प्लीमेंट निकालो या फिर सप्लीमेंट निकालो, मुझे कोई टेंशन नहीं है. दिमाग लगाने की बात ये, अगर मैं तुमसे बोलता बेटा 51 नंबर से ज्यादा कितनों के मार्क्स हैं ये बताओ, 50 45 छोड़ो, फाइंड मी द नंबर ऑफ पीपल हैविंग मार्क्स मोर देन 51. हाउ यू विल फाइंड? 50 इज द मीन एंड 5 इज द स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन. अब बताओ. What is the Z here in this case? What is Z in this case? हेलो, अरे यार वो पूछ रहा था एग्जांपल. हाँ कितना?
0.2 सर.
0.2. अब ये बताओ 0.2 तो है, क्या वो काम करेगा यहाँ पे?
यस सर, यहाँ पे काम कर जाएगा.
कैसे?
सर यहाँ पे 0.2 का वैल्यू हो जाएगा 0.5793.
जी ठीक है, फिर क्या करेंगे? आंसर क्या 57% होगा? मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा है मोर देन 51. Will your answer be 0.5793? हेलो, क्या कह रहे हैं?
Subtracted from 1, basically the total probability is
Yeah, so actually we are interested in the area which is more towards the right. We are interested in this area. Okay? We are interested in this area. So the answer will become 1 minus 0.5, and as you can see, it has to be less than 0.5. इतना तो मानते हो ना? 0.5 से तो कम ही होगा ना आंसर? हेलो?
Yes, sir.
So 0.5 से कम हुआ ना? 1 minus 0.5793. This is the use of that function. ठीक है? Now please digest all this today. Any questions, we will answer it tomorrow, and we will be building on this, and we will be using the current slide of error function and other things, q norm, p norm, little bit. And please, Vaishnavi in group, add the Excel part में the Excel function of which I asked you. ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
So rest question we will answer tomorrow. अभी तो this is what we are trying to understand. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.